Hello, hello, hello. This is Thursday. My name's Kurt. I'm a dad who draws, and on Thursday for the daily draw, we always look at something that has to do with character design. And today we're going to. Last week we were looking at a miner who was using a pickaxe. Well, today what we're going to do is look at somebody sitting on a bench. Let me turn on my screen here so I could show you. A lot of times, we go out and we draw in public. And one way to make sure that when we get out there and draw in public that we're not overwhelmed, we want to take some time out and practice poses we might expect to see in a public setting. So not only are we looking at character design, but we're also kind of prepping ourselves for if we were going to draw in public and we want to get comfortable in our own studio or home with drawing somebody sitting on a bench so that when you're actually out there you're familiar with it. And that's really what it's key, is getting familiar with a pose that your subject is doing. So let's walk through the same processes that we went through last week of drawing a figure. And if you remember, a figure, well, let's see what's going on there. Okay, let's, there it goes. Okay. All right, so let's just say let's just review this. This is the top, the head of a figure, and this is where their feet are going to go. If you take a halfway point, usually that's the whole upper body and head are in the top half, while the legs, are down in the bottom half. So that is a general proportion that you should try and just remember. In the case of these poses today, they will all be sitting. So we won't really need to worry about that, but I just want to bring that up as a quick reminder. Okay, so let's go ahead and drop in an action line. Okay, so I'm just gonna kind of follow along here of what this guy's doing. All right, so there's an action line. And the next thing I want to do after I get my action line, you can put in the head if you want, or I'm going to save it to later because his head is stretching forward a little bit, and I'll show you what I mean in just a second. But this is important in when you're drawing people, especially from the side point of view. So let's start with his upper body, and I want you to think of this almost. Sometimes you've heard this idea of this as being a bean, and you could see that I'm kind of creating this bean feel to it. You see that? And then let's look at his feet and let's take a measurement. Let's kind of guess of where his bottom is sitting on that versus how far out his feet are. And we like to, let's see, there's going to be 1 foot there maybe. Is that far enough? No, it's not. This is what I mean. We have to really push this out just a bit more. So let's see. Let's actually make a measurement here. So this is that bean shape I just created, right? Okay, so that's where our feet are going to go. So let's try and get a better position for our feet than what I just did off the gate. I think I'm going to be somewhere around in here. And then my next foot is slightly above that. You could see that as well. Next step, I want to put his knees in his knees are kind of at a slight slant. There's one here, right? And then there's another one I could see that's right out there like that. All right. After our feet and our legs, so we go upper body. I'll just write this down here so you have it. Then we go with our feet. Then you look for the legs. And this is just a general guideline. Legs, and then we go to position of hands next. And where's his hands? Okay, his hands are kind of right there. I'm just going to kind of indicate a little square there for me. And the other one is right in front of that hand. You see that? Right behind it. From here then, we next, if he's holding an object, we would definitely want to put that object so you can, he's got his cane here, so we can just kind of put that cane in place. All right. Next, let's position his elbows. All right. So where's his elbows? In relationship to his hands. That's what I'm kind of using as a measuring stick, a measuring point. And his elbows are coming up, and they almost line up. This one almost lines up just right about there, I believe. It's right about there. So you kind of get an idea where it's sitting on this bean here. All right, then we come up like this, right? Now his body is covering the other one. We can't even see it, so we'll just do like this, right? Okay, let's get this head in place. Now let's take a look at the head, because the head, you know, the back leans forward a little bit, and then the back of his head is almost, look at this. That is like the top, the very top of the upper body, whereas this comes down. Look at that. You see that? So that's what we're looking for here. So we're going to come down just a bit like this. And let's just almost like put a square here for right now. So there's one thing that I would recommend you always, let's see, hands, object, elbows, arms, and then head. Just remember, the head is always a little bit, put your shoulders, generally speaking, your shoulders are a little bit higher where your mouth is. It's just the way the body falls. All right. Let's add some detail to this. So first thing on his face, let's draw the face in here. Let's add his ear. Now his ear is toward the back just a little bit, and it's almost like right there. You see that? You see how it's like lining up almost with the back of him there? And then we got this ball cap, and let's just, when it comes to drawing caps, I always draw the part that is around the head, and then I can draw the brim much easier that way. All right, he has a pair of sunglasses, and we'll just put a little stretch right there. Now look at his nose. Now his nose is just below those sunglasses, something like that maybe. And then he's got a nice beard going on, so we could do something like that. And we got our man here. Look at that. All right, so there's our man, and he's sitting like this. And let's get some more details here. So this is going to be his kneecap. So look at this. Look at how far back his pants are. bam, if I make a vertical line right there, they line up with the back of his hands. Okay, that's a great measuring stick. And then we've got his folds, and the front of his pant leg follows his shin. And this has a nice angle to it. All right, we've got some folds in his pants are right there, right? And of course, he has his shoes. All right, let's get the other leg in here. Where's that? That's a little bit higher. Look at that. And we won't bother drawing the park bench. You could do that on your own if you'd like. But there's one quick drawing of a man sitting on the bench. All right, let's bring up one of the others now. I like this pose of this gentleman right here. Okay, this is good. So let's go through that same process. First thing, let's get a gesture going. All right, there's my quick stick figure, right? Gesture, action line. Next, let's think about the upper body. So let's look at where he's coming in contact with this bench. So that's pretty flat right there. And his backside, boy, he's sitting straight up there. You see that? Okay. That looks pretty good to me. All right, let's see now. Let's get this. Let's figure out where this kneecap is, and check this out. So this is where I want to find. This is kneecap right there, and if I say, look at that. There's part of his upper body. Look at that negative space. You see this? I can almost do a little triangle right there. That's going to be very helpful. So if this is the front end of his body, I think that knee is going to be right about there. Okay, look at that. This needs to be adjusted slightly. This is nice. This is hanging down low right there. It's almost straight. Oops. I'm jumping ahead just a little bit because I got excited about this pose. I like this. I really like this pose. All right, feet. Look at this negative space. I'm always looking for negative shapes that will help me lock in my proportion. Okay. We'll come in and work that out in just a second. All right, his other knee is here, and this pant leg comes down, and ooh, look at this. This is interesting. Look at that. Look how much higher it is. You see that? Let's make sure that we come up there. Okay, I'm gonna erase some of these lines here. All right, I also know that if this is the knee there, this other knee is going to be up a little bit higher there, right? Look at this negative space in here that I could use. And then look at his heel just comes in right there. Always looking for little areas. Okay, next. Window. Oh, he's studying windows. Look at that. All right, this book. Let's draw this book in here. This is a... Look how close this back end here is to his lower. They're like really close to each other. That's a good measuring point. Okay, let's draw this book without that bending cover right now, so we can now where is this? Where is that edge to that edge? You see that? I'm always looking for relationships. So let's see here. That's going to be like right there, right? All right, excellent. This is going to come back. This is coming like this. Okay, let's get this. Let's next, now that we have our object, just remember upper body, feet, legs, hands, the object, then we go to arms, then we go to head. Okay, so we're working on the hands now. So remember, I said this last week. Look at this. This is the inactive side. That's the active side, okay? You always want to remember that. I'm going to erase that so we can actually see it. So here we go. This is how we draw that. So up here, let's see now. Let's get this hand in, and all we're doing is looking for the larger shape here. Elbow is going to be toward the back of the body. All right, so we're doing something all the way back like that. Look at that. Now, let me show you something here. There is a bone. This is important when drawing the hands. Now, first we talked about active and inactive. There's another bone. It's the ulna. The ulna, you could, if you take your finger on the pinky side, it sticks out. There's a little node. Well, that goes from here right back to your elbow. Now, what's important in that is that shows up all the time when you're looking at the outside part of the body, and it's right here. And we actually, there's the ulna right there, and it's a straight line right back to the elbow. You see that? And then you have this, I don't know what this muscle is, but then you have this muscle that hangs below that. So stick that in your memory. When you're drawing arms, look for the ulna, and it's straight back to the elbow. And then you could add just this little teeny bit right, just like that. All right, there's a shoulder there, right? We're going to ignore that. Well, we don't have to ignore this. We can just put that little bit of a cusp right there. All right, we can't even see the other hand, so we're okay there. Now let's get this head in the right position, okay? So let's first look at this. Look at this negative space here. You see that? That's a great negative space. Let's use that. So I'm coming in. Yep. I'm going right about there. All right, when we draw portraits or heads, we always look at the axis. So let's get this axis going just like that. And we're going to take that same angle right where that chin is, just like that. And let's see if we can make a measurement here. Look at this. Look at the width of that book compared to the width of that head. They're almost the same. So let's go to our picture and okay. Sometimes it's just easier for me to use squares, and then I could round them out afterwards. So check this out now. Look at this angle. Look at this negative space. Bam, just like that. Let's put that in. So what are we looking at? Boom, and boom. There it is right there. Okay. All right, now we can curve this head up. All right. Now let's see. Let's go in closely now. Let's place his ear, because here's a little bit more forward, because I can see his ear's going to drop down, and then I'm going to get my jaw, right? And then where is this nose? Okay, if the ear is there, this nose is lining up. Oh, right above that finger there. Okay, so okay, that's good. So let's just drop this nose in here. And then let's look at his glasses. Now his glasses, look at the angle of his glasses here. His angle is like this. You see, oops. Let's zoom in close here. The angle of his glasses are like this. You always try and put the glasses in as a single plane. So let's erase that so I can actually see where they're going. Okay. So let's just start with the first one, and this is completely off of his nose there. And then the other one is just about there, right? I'm going to erase some of that so I can put his eye in. His eye is just something like that. All right, look at that. So from this, now this gesture, this construction, now you can go back into them and start adding the details, okay? Because you've got big area to small area. Okay, here's our last drawing. We're gonna get through all three. And it looks like we just have about 4 or 5 minutes. So let's just do a quick drawing and give you 3 minutes, all right? So go, all right? Let's see how you do. So go through the process again. So action line. All right, let's see, upper body. So let's take a look at that. I'm just gonna go over, now he's sitting down here. I'm just gonna go over the parts here. All right, next thing is feet. All right, so if his body's there, all right, so this, and his position of feet, okay, are gonna be on the outside. And this one's going to be maybe on the inside there. Knees. All right, so this is his lower body, right? This knee is going to be right there. And where's this knee? This knee's a little bit higher there. Okay. Feet, legs, hands. All right. This hand, look at this. This hand is just sitting right there, right? And then this one is a little bit higher. And then let's get the object here. And let's start with the spine. Now, typically, I'm just saying these things because this is what's going through my mind. Okay, when I'm drawing a gesture. There's my angle of my head there. All right, he's looking down, so let's put a brow line that's looking down, and his ears, look how much higher his ears are. And so this is a good idea, and we'll end with this thought here. If your person's looking up, your ears are going to be low. Okay, there's their mouth. If they're looking right at you, those ears are going to line up maybe with the brow line and the bottom of the nose. Of course, if that person's looking down like our guy here, right, there's the brow line, nose, and mouth, but the ears are going to be high. And we could see that in this gentleman right here. Now, where does the shoulders come in? All right, they come in there, and they're crossed over here. And there we go. Okay. Sitting on the bench waiting for his train to come. All right. Hopefully I didn't go too fast for you, but you can always pause it and take a second look. Thanks for watching today. My name's Kurt. I'm a dad who draws, and I will see you later. Okay, bye-bye.